Hello and welcome to Coffee with the Librarians, week of November 14th. I'm Lora Cheadle, and I know that this is a message that is going to be about tolerance because that's kind of been coming in all day, but I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be around tolerance. So let's go ahead and check in. It is around human tolerance that they wish to speak, because tolerance has been categorized as something we have or something that we give, when in fact tolerance is something that we are. We are tolerance. We are tolerance. When we talk about tolerance in terms of construction, like if there is a certain tolerance between, I personally don't know how this is, like there's a tolerance between wood that, like, they're showing me a gap and there's like an angled gap. So it's like if there's the tolerance between the wood, it is what it is. It is the tolerance between things. It lets you know where you stand and what the measurement is between two things. So when we speak about tolerance in terms of human relationships, or being tolerant towards different points of view or different beliefs or whatever, it is what it is. We can have a gap of beliefs that is narrow. We can have a gap that is astronomical. Knowing the tolerance is what it is. It is the tolerance. If you have the most liberal person and the most conservative person, maybe that tolerance is very wide. That gap is very wide. If you've got people who are the same in so many different ways, maybe there's a lower tolerance. So it's not even really your distance between people, but it's your placing. It's your placement around. And it's an identification structure. And it is who you are, and it is where you're at. And those tolerances will constantly be moving. So it's not that you have tolerance for somebody else or you don't have tolerance for somebody else or for a different point of view. It's this flux and flow. It's like this ever-changing pattern of where everybody is at. And what we do is just notice that. We just notice where we're at and how is it shifting. It's when we have an attitude or a belief around that it's right or that it's wrong, that everybody should be standing on our dot. You know, it's interesting because last week they talked a lot about playing the games, and this week they're showing me like a twister thing. So when we're all on our different colored dots, the yellow and the blue, the red, and we're all lined up on our dots, and then we go to move or we go to shift, we're just moving around on dots. And it's not a judgment like, why are you on yellow? I'm on red. I'm on red. You're on yellow. Of course, it's that's like the tolerance. The tolerance between things is just different. And it's noticing that. And they say there is nothing to be said around that. There literally is nothing to be said around it. You're all in the different places. And that it's this internal strife and this internal conflict and this learned, it's not even really a belief, this learned idea around tolerance, and that we have to exhibit tolerance because they're saying we don't. We are tolerant. We are all in different places. There is no problem around different viewpoints. It's that we think that we need to tolerate. And they're saying on their level, it feels very confusing. Why would you need to tolerate? Why would a tree have to tolerate a bush? Why would a bush have to tolerate a flower? Why would a flower have to tolerate grass? They're different. They require different things. It's not as if resources need to be spread out and there needs to be that judgment. And they're saying it's just is. And the reason that they're bringing this up, because I'm saying, okay, great, this is very headspace. Why do we need to know this? And they said, because what the world is moving into, there's going to be a lot. We are revealing a lot of differences. We are revealing a lot of thought patterns that are different. And we believe that we need to be more tolerant, and we need to be tolerant of race or gender or sexuality or any of those things. And they're just asking us to reframe it, not in terms of tolerance, because when you're saying, I will tolerate you, you are putting them in opposition to you instead of just putting them where they are. And instead of thinking, will I tolerate or can I tolerate or how much, or I'm out of my tolerance, or it's how close or how far are you in alignment with people, and noticing they are where they are, and that it doesn't impact you because you're on your little twister dot and they're on their little twister dot, and you can see somebody clear across that little twister pad, but they don't impact you. And even if somebody is really close to you and trying to take your dot, it still doesn't impact you because you're all constantly moving. So the information that they want to convey around tolerance and why it matters now is it's about to get exponentially, I hate to say worse, but it's about to get exponentially worse in terms of some forms of division and the variety of things that will be coming up. There will be way more things coming up now than have almost ever come up before. And it will require us to observe without judgment. And where they're saying when we're judging others, what we're really doing is we're judging ourselves. When we say, when we're not tolerant of other people's points of view, it's because we are afraid. It's because we're afraid that we're wrong. It's because we're afraid we're not safe. And what this is coming together, what they want to do is to reassure us that we are safe. As a soul, we know we are safe. It doesn't matter if we're right or wrong. That doesn't matter. What matters is if we are safe. As a soul, we will be safe. And we don't have to tolerate because it doesn't matter, because we are tolerant, because we are in our own space and everybody else is in their own space. And where we get into trouble is when we think that there shouldn't be movement, when we think our position is fixed. Our position is never fixed. The words that they're saying is it's never fixed for more than a breath. And we don't recognize that within ourselves, and we're having a hard time recognizing within others as well. Our position is never fixed. It's not about tolerance. We are intolerance. Intolerance, not intolerant. We are intolerance. Ah, I get it. We are intolerance with other people and other beliefs and other factions all the time. So it's not about being intolerant. We are intolerance. That made sense. And it's just noticing and accepting that shift, being more accepting of the shift and recognizing that we are safe where we are at. Once again, that one went really deep. Yeah, they're saying that's complete enough for now. They're saying this is going to take a while to chew on because we are intolerance, not intolerant. We are intolerance with people at all times. Allow the shift. More is going to come up. You are safe. The big reassurance is you are safe. There is no reason to be in fear because you are safe. So it's not intolerance, it's in fear. Totally makes sense. Thank you so much. I will see you next week. Bye.